Hello, today we'll be playing Cabin Crew Simulator. Just so you know, we selected the water landing emergency, so we're going to fly a plane. I'm going to be a flight attendant, and a water landing is going to happen. That's the emergency. So let's make our way to the gate. We're at gate 5. Now we just need to wait for the door to open. Just so you know, this aircraft is an Airbus. Alright. Let's walk in. Alright, here we are. Look at the first class seats. That looks fancy. With their amenity kit. And yeah, first class is amazing. I always dreamed of flying first class. Alright, this is the business class. They have amenity kits too. Alright, now the economy. They don't have amenity kits, but they do have TVs behind their seats. So does business. Now we need to prepare the galley. We're going to turn on hard mode so the game doesn't lag. Alright, we're going to add this, and then that, and then that. Alright. Now we're gonna do this galley. I'm gonna add this and that. The nut mix. We started our first class boarding, so they should be coming shortly. Alright, now this galley. We're gonna add that. And then the lemonade or orange juice. Yeah, it's the orange juice. I can't really tell between them. Alright, now this galley. This is the last one in the middle section. Alright, now everyone's seated down in their first class seats. Let's give them their welcome drinks. The flight attendants will do that. Now we need to start the business boarding. They'll be coming shortly. Alright, I'm going to serve them a welcome drink. Alright, they want the coffee. Now it's time to serve them. She wants a Coca-Cola. Alright. Now, I see the business class coming through. So, once they board, we'll start the economy boarding. We're going to do this galley in the meantime. They'll collect the trash after I do the galley. I'll collect some of the trash to help out. Alright, now we do this galley. Little do these passengers know that once we take off, we're going to do our meal service, then a crash is going to come in. We're going to land in the water. Alright, we're going to collect their trash. Alright, now the passenger checks. Can you please turn on airplane mode? Alright, the economy boarding. They're coming shortly. Alright. They're good. They're good. Oh no, they need to still have the tray table. They're good. They're good. Oh, they need to buckle their seatbelt. I think they're good. This person's good. This person doesn't need to do anything. She's good. Alright. Business has boarded. No welcome drinks for them, unfortunately. There's barely any economy boarded. Once they board, we're gonna get rolling. Alright, now we need to do this galley. There's so many galleys on this plane. Alright. Almost done with this galley. We need to add the cups. Alright, now the Doritos. Yeah, they're Doritos. Now the gummy bears. And then more cups. Now we need to add the instant noodles, then more cups. Okay. Flight attendant, the galley's done. You can leave now. Alright. We're almost boarded. Turn on airplane mode, please.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is
Okay.
your captain from the flight deck. Welcome aboard the flight.
I'm pretty
We're
sure
expecting
everyone's
a smooth
boarded.
ride today,
Let's
so
close the
seatbelt
door and
signs
then
are
push
remain
back.
on for most of the flight. Thanks for flying with us, and once again, welcome aboard.
I'm gonna check and see what we got done before we click the button. Alright, now we're gonna push back. Holding position. There's traffic on the taxiway. Please wait. Okay, I guess we need to wait. Alright, we're gonna close the curtains for extra privacy. Now we're gonna close the overhead bins. There's quite a few to close. Alright, now this. Alright, let's move on to the business section. But we turned on the orange lights, so it looks extra stylish. Alright, this section. I'm gonna close these overhead bins. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Alright, let's close them. We're almost done.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are preparing for departure. Please ensure your seatbelt is fastened, your seat back and tray table are upright, and all carry-on items are stowed.
Do everything they need. They're gonna help do the passenger checks. Alright. That guy listened to the PA system. Now we're almost done with the passenger checks. Just one more passenger. Alright, we're done. We still need to close the overhead bins. Quite a few. Then we're going to move on to the economy overhead bins. We need to close those. Alright, we're closing them. Now we're closing this side. We're almost at the runway. They told us to be seated, but we closed off the overhead bins, so we're going to run up here and sit down. Wait, what? It teleported us to the back of the plane. Oh well. Okay. We're going to take off. Little do these passengers know that we're going to land in the water because there's going to be a big crash. Alright. We're going up. Here we go, up into the air. We're going to start our meal service shortly. Business and first class get quality meals. Economy just get boring meals, unfortunately. Alright, here we go. The orange lights are back on. We need to do our hot towel service for the first class.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
I think the flight attendants will do that though. Yep, we're gonna start our meal service. The flight attendants do that, but we're gonna do this passenger. She wants a Coca-Cola. Here is your Coca-Cola. Alright, so we haven't explored yet, so we're gonna explore. This is the cockpit where the pilots fly the plane. They're looking pretty professional. Alright, let's get out of here now. Let's check out the lavatory. This is the lavatory. That's what it looks like. Pretty cool. These are the jump seats. You can use the PA system. Watch this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin our in-flight service. Our crew will be coming through the cabin with food and beverages.
Alright, those are the jump seats for the flight attendants to sit. These are the two galleys in the front. Alright, that's the first class section. I already showed you that. They're looking pretty. They're looking pretty rich. Now, that lavatory. in this lavatory, they're both the same. And now this business class section. Now these lavatories, still the same. But I haven't showed you the inside of the lavatories. Let's do that. So we have our sink with a mirror with lights on it, a toilet, and those cylinders or toilet paper rolls. Alright, let's close it. Alright. Now the flight attendants are doing some work. Alright, this is the back of the plane. 2 more jump seats in the PA system. And 2 other galleys. Alright, we're halfway done. More than halfway done. Alright. Flight attendants are hardworking. Okay. So, the business class, the economy class. The economy class is kind of boring, but who cares? At least they're flying to somewhere. Alright. So, I think it should happen pretty soon. Whoa. Wow, what was that? It just shaked. Alright, now it's tipping over. I think this is this is where it's gonna crash. I think it's gonna crash. I think this is the water landing. I'm gonna open the curtains since everyone needs to get off quickly. The aircraft is going to make a water landing. Make sure all passengers have a life vest on. Alright, so let's do that. Alright, I think we're all done. I think we're ready to do the water landing. This is gonna be terrible. We have 2 engine fires and smoke. Here we go. We're about to reach the water.
Right.
Alright. It splashed down. This is scary. Oh, the back is flooded already. Let's open these emergency exits so everyone can get off.
Make sure all passengers get on a life raft before you leave the aircraft.
These emergency exits too. Those are already open. And so are those. Now we just need to evacuate all the passengers. Evacuate quickly. But we're probably going to use the PA system to tell people to evacuate.
Evacuate into the life rafts. Leave everything and move to the exits now.
Leave everything and move to the exits now. Alright. Those people didn't listen to the system, so we're going to tell them to evacuate. Evacuate quickly. Now, evacuate. Alright. All the doors are open. Now, we need to check if everyone's evacuated. I think so. So, the crew raft is going to spawn quickly. Or shortly. They're all there. Alright, that's the crew raft. Why am I sitting backwards and everyone else isn't? They're all facing forwards and I'm facing backwards. I don't know why, but we're teleporting to our destination. Here we are. Alright, let's collect our money. The Honolulu airport is looking pretty cool.